Hello again, guys. I am Jim Bob. Welcome back to Big Bud Farm. And we have some bad news. We missed our great demand on the wall. I'm not entirely sure what happened. I know my brain was a little bit fried when I was recording the last episode, and I kind of got the time mixed up as to when it would actually finish. But I took on a contract job overnight. Finished that around about 6:30, 6:40 on the clock, and the demand was already over. So I really don't know what happened. That demand should have been going on till around 10 a.m. So we've lost that demand, unfortunately. But all's not lost. I mean, we'll get another one at some point in the future. That's for sure. So instead, it gives us an opportunity to make sure that we have all of our pallets loaded and ready for the next one. So I figured I would spend a little bit of time just making sure that we get everything stacked up, clear up our wall area a little bit. And I've had to swap the pallet forks out as well. Those CSZ pallet forks were more trouble than they were worth, unfortunately. They were just too thin, too narrow. And the forks themselves weren't spaced apart enough to give any kind of real stability while trying to load these pallets. So we've gone for the traditional Maxi ones that are, the default ones that we can get for a telehandler. And they are a little bit wider, and the forks themselves are well, so we have a lot more stability now when it comes to actually lifting these pallets. They don't slide around all over the place. They don't, rotate while they're on the forks. It's just a much more stable experience, which is kind of what we need when we're trying to do precision loading. That said, there is actually an update that's gone into testing today for the CSZ pack. I'm curious to see exactly what that update's going to entail. Obviously, we won't know until it clears testing and the patch notes are released as to exactly what those changes are going to be. Maybe we're going to get a couple of additional tools. Maybe they'll be reworking a couple of the tools. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see what happens, as I say, once that patch goes live. But there's been an update added for Losberg as well. Again, no idea what that is going to be. I'm guessing, I mean, it says it's an update for all systems, so my guess is that we may be getting season support added on PC for that. Beyond that, I'm not sure what else would be part of the update. Certainly, season support will not apply to consoles, so I don't know if there's any other changes that are being made at the same time. Maybe some texture changes, maybe some things are being altered as a result of seasons that will have a knock-on effect on consoles as well, because that update is scheduled or is listed as being for all three systems, consoles being the PS4, the Xbox One, and then PC as well. So yeah, curious to see exactly what that's going to be. There is also something else in testing today on top of slow haul extendable that I mentioned in yesterday's Fent Farm, and that is bale trailers, and that's all it says, bale trailers. So I don't know if that's an update to some existing bale trailers. I don't think it'll be an update to the Smith bale trailer, because that would actually say Smith bale trailer. So maybe we're getting some new bale trailers. Again, it's very difficult to kind of look up details when all I have to go on is just bale trailers. It could be anything. So again, we'll just have to wait and see exactly what happens with that. There we go, that's 4 pallets loaded. I'm just going to leave this trailer up here for the foreseeable future until we actually get a full trailer's worth or another great demand, whichever comes first. There doesn't seem to be much point in moving it and taking it out. We don't have bales that we need to worry about. We're not in any particular rush to do any baling. We don't need straw because we don't have animals. We don't have a straw crop that's being, harvested that we could maybe sell the bales on. So it makes sense to just leave our trailer up, partially loaded, and see what happens with wool going forward. Now that's odd. Why is that strapped down? Had some weird glitches in game recently that I'm not entirely sure what's caused them. Obviously, the problems I've been having with Massey Manor is potentially quite, catastrophic to the future of that series. Every time I try and fit the front loader attachment, the front forks, onto one of my tractors, it vanishes. It just completely disappears. It shows it's connected. You can hear it moving, and if you push down on the stick enough, you do actually see the front of the tractor get lifted up just a little bit. But the front forks aren't visibly there on the screen, and then you can't disconnect it either. It just stays there, even though it's not there, if that kind of makes sense. And I try resetting, and that means everything comes to a complete grinding stop as well. Just resetting the forks. They appear in the reset area, but they also show as still being connected to the tractor. And this happens every time. I've tried a couple of different times now, and I don't know if it's maybe the forks themselves that are glitched. Maybe I need to remove those forks if possible. It's kind of hard to do that when I can't detach them without something going horribly, horribly wrong. Maybe I just need to leave them permanently attached to our little two-wheel drive 600 series and then buy a second set of forks. That's one of the things I'm going to be trying later today once I finish recording this episode. So I would like to get Massey Manor back up and running if I can, but the last thing I want to do, having put in all those hours already, is to have to start all over again. And if that happens, I don't know whether I'll wait for a new map or whether we'll just start all over again on Old Stream. We'll see. We may just wait as well and see if there's an update coming in the not too distant future for the Massey pack before we restart Massey Manor. So that series, depending on how well my attempts to circumvent the problem go, that series may just go on hiatus for the foreseeable future. I really hope that's not the case. And I know there's quite a few of you out there that really enjoy that series and have been looking forward to seeing it with the older style Masseys, but if it doesn't work, there's not a lot I can do, unfortunately. Alright, there we go. So we have 6 pallets that are full and 6 pallets that are now loaded. So let's lock these down. There we go. Fantastic. So that's just going to stay there now, and we'll see what happens. Here we go with our pricing. So you can see the price, the great demand's gone, but the price is going back up. It'll stop around, probably around 4,500. Let's see what else we have at the moment. Again, still our prices are looking pretty poor, to be honest. Nothing really jumping off the page. We have got that soybean crop that we're working on, and we do need to get that fertilised. So let's find our voucher. There it is. Now we need to change the wheel options on this. So let's take it over to our workshop area. And we actually need to bring the pickup truck with the toolbox back down here as well. So there we go, that's driven in for our inspection bay. There's our truck with our toolbox. Which way is quickest back to the farm? Well, I've just harvested this field, so I'm just going to cut straight across it. And we'll get this back in the workshop and sort out our Valtra. Okay, there we go, there's our toolbox. So we need to switch these tyres for narrow tyres. There we go. Now let's put our toolbox away. One thing I find is quite useful is to duck just before you pick it up, so that it stays a little bit square and a little bit more flush when you pick it back up again. So we'll drop that back there on top of our tool cabinet there. Now let's go get our weeder. which is in this shed just here. There we go. And we'll get this guy up and running, working on our fields, and then I'll head over to the BGA bunker and I'll show you the work that we have going on over there. So here we are at the BGA. As you can see, I brought over some equipment. I brought over the lighting rig to help if it gets dark. I've also brought over our conveyor belt system and got everything set up. And I've turned on the help window so you can see we are currently at 77% fermentation on our silage. And I've set it up like this so that what we'll be doing is pushing all of this silage forward to make sure that we keep feeding this, so that when we do sell our silage, we'll be getting a continuous stream going all the way up into our tip point. And to do the pushing, we have a brand new piece of equipment. So here we go, we have a JCB wheel loader fitted with twin front wheels, and I've also got this really large lizard bucket here as well. This holds 11,500 litres, and this is going to be ideal to help push that silage forward. I was really hoping to be able to use a dozer blade, this dozer blade here from the CSZ pack, but unfortunately I just cannot get it to fit the wheel loader, even using the attachment that's here as well. This CSZ attacher is supposed to help if you don't have a front loader. You can connect it to this, but unfortunately, you know, it still needs to attach to a 3-point harness, and we don't have one of those on the front of the wheel loader. We just have this connection here, so we had to go with the bucket. It was the best option that was available. I mean, I could use a leveler, but I'd rather use the bucket. I'm going to find it, I think, a little bit easier to control. Plus, I think it looks better as well. Managed to get a bucket in a very similar colour to the JCB itself. So that's what we're going to be using to push the silage forward once it's fermented and the price is right. Let's just have a look at the price of our silage right now, see what it stands at. 229 and dropping. That's not so good. So we'll be holding off until the price is good, and then we'll be selling. And if we just happen to get a great demand as well, even better. As we ride with our Voltra, let's just take a look at our finances. So, not too far. There you go. You can see that that contract job I did this morning before starting recording brought us in an extra 382,000. That helped to cover the cost of the outlay on our wheel loader. That plus the attachments that we've purchased means that we've actually now got a bank balance of 1.08 million. So just under 1.1 million. Which is really, really nice. And of course we have that loan at 0 as well, so we now effectively have a total of around 1.38 million if you factor our loan in there as well. So we're very, very close to being just 1 million short of hitting our target to buy the field 1. That means we've got a big sale coming up at some point soon. We will be selling all of our grain, so I'm hoping that this soybean will go for a really nice crop price when we get rid of it. Same with our sunflowers, same with our canola. We are now actively going to be looking to sell those crops, see just how much money we can raise from those sales. I'm hoping we can get about 500,000 or more from selling those grains as a combined total. And that way, you know, one odd contract job plus a little bit of extra work and maybe selling some wool will get us everything we need. And of course, if we can get our silage unloaded by then as well, we will definitely have enough money to be able to buy the field, and then we can start working towards getting that extra equipment in there as well. In terms of potential future contract work, there isn't a lot for us going right now. Both fields 1 and 4 have sugar beets growing on them, which means we maybe get a couple of decent fertilizing jobs, but beyond that, it's not going to be very helpful for us. So what I'm going to do here is just take on a quick fertilizing job on the field that I've just finished harvesting, field 2. This will give us a nice little extra bit of cash. Of course, you know, we are trying to raise money as quickly as we can right now to be able to buy field 1 outright. But what I also want to do is keep an eye on the growth of the next set of crops on this field as well. You know, if we can get it into something that's useful to us, something, you know, that we can either use a grain harvest on and use our draper header instead of the 35 foot that it supplies, or even better, if we can get a sunflower harvest on this field and then use our helianthus header rather than the 9 meter 12 row header that it supplies, then we can make some serious money that way. So I'm going to carry on sort of running up and down this field for the next, let's see, it's offering us 180 minutes, well, 170, just under 3 hours. So this should take me around about an hour and 15 minutes, hour 20 minutes or so to do, maybe an hour and a half. But I'll get this done and then check back in with you in a little while. So we're a quarter of the way through this job and we've used, what, 24 minutes or so. So we're on course for a little over an hour and a half to get this job done. And there we go, that's kind of how much ground we've covered so far, so still quite a lot to go. And that's halfway on the job so far. And we've used 45 minutes, so we've actually been able a little bit more efficient in this sort of second quarter of the job so far. So now we're on target for an hour and a half. Maybe we might be able to get just below that as well. Into the final quarter of this job now, so not too much more to go. Maybe another 15 minutes. Maybe not even that, maybe only another 10 minutes. Let's see, we had 170 minutes, we're on for around a 90 minutes, so yeah, maybe about 15 minutes. Let's see, we should be done hopefully in around about 15 minutes. So let's see if we finish before 85 minutes are left on the clock. Well, we couldn't get it done with 85 minutes left, but yeah, we're not far off. You know, we're pretty much almost bang on 90 minutes now, which is kind of what we thought it was going to be anyway, so it's not too bad. I've been watching Jurassic Park while I've been doing this, and it amazes me how well that movie still kind of holds up. I mean, there are some scenes that now look a little bit hokey CGI-wise, but for the most part, you know, visually that movie still holds up, and it's a cracking movie, the original Jurassic Park. The sequels, yeah, not so much. I mean, 2 wasn't great, and the less said about 3, the better. Lost World was, you know, the reboot, sorry, Jurassic World wasn't too bad. I quite like that, but a little hokey in places, a little bit predictable. But I do love the original movie, so I've got about 15-20 minutes of that, and I'll watch that later. This job now almost complete. As you can see, we've been toiling away, you know, done quite a lot of work. This will be an extra 50 grand plus however much of a time bonus we get, so maybe another 20 grand as a time bonus as well. It is all about earning money at this stage, and hopefully our silage will be close to being ready by this point. We've still got field 5 left to ferment, not to ferment, sorry, to fertilise. But if our silage is ready, then we can look at cracking on and getting that all shoveled through as well, depending on what the price is. Obviously the price was dropping when we looked a little bit earlier, so that might not necessarily be the right time to do that. Just need to wait for this job to complete so we can check everything off. It's so close now. Just waiting for that last little bit. Come on. any minute, well, any second now. I think it's going to pop. That little, there we go. Job is done. So yeah, 54 grand and about 19 as a time bonus. I will quite happily take that. So that now puts us at 1.4 million if you include our loan, which means we are now just 1 million short of being able to buy the field. Yeah, buy field 1. That's really good. So there is our voucher. So let's get this set up and moved. Let's just check, because I know we've had some AI issues recently. Nope, that whole field is done. So let's get the next one up and running. We'll start along the bottom. Hopefully that will run through nice and smoothly. We won't have those weird AI issues that we generally seem to have on this field. I'm hoping that's one of the things that's going to be fixed as well with this update that's currently working its way through PC testing before it gets submitted for console testing. Like I said, I don't think there's anything actually wrong with the PC version, but there are definite, obviously, issues with the console version. So I think from what Shu has written on the forums, it looks as though the patch has been done purely just for the benefit of console users. Right, so let's have a look and see what we're looking like price-wise. Wool is still going up. That's not too bad. Yes, silage is definitely dropping. So now is not the right time to do our silage. We'll have to save that for probably the next episode, depending on what the price is like. And well, look at that. Our sunflowers are actually starting to go up quite nicely. So maybe, maybe as time progresses in this day, we might actually get to a good price to sell our, not sunflowers, sorry, our canola, and get all that shipped. We've got 181,000 litres. That's 3 trips. So that could be a little bit of an issue, trying to get all that unloaded. We might sell some and then leave the rest, let the price come back up a little bit and just sell off, a trailer's worth or something, or maybe 2 trailers worth, and save the rest for, another day. Let's jump up to our BGA. Check on our silage. We need to open up the help window for that. 96%. So the silage itself is almost fermented now. Again, we can't do it yet, but it will be good for another day. So time-wise, you can still see it's just coming up to midday. Not a lot of time has been spent moved in through the day, because obviously the contract work was done in real time rather than game-generated time. So even though I've been recording for around 2.5 hours now, on and off, we still, have only made a little bit of progress time-wise through the day. Let's jump up and have a look at our sheep as well. So we're up to 110 sheep now. So we started with 96. We've bred 14 sheep already. That's fantastic. Great to see their numbers are starting to go up quite nicely, and that will happen. Obviously, the more sheep we have, the faster that reproduction rate will become. Every time a new one is bred, the reproduction rate drops slightly and becomes a little bit quicker. So it becomes a great way to just add extra livestock, and it boosts how quickly we produce wool as well. When we get to, say, 150 sheep, we'll be producing wool a lot quicker than we are right now. But we are still already producing pretty quickly. I mean, we have those 6 pallets, and we're at 79% on the next one as well. We jump in here. You can see this one here almost done. We've got those 6 there. We've only had our sheep for a little while. Only had them for a couple of episodes, really. I mean, I know there's been some contract work that's taken place in between, but for the short period of time that we've had them, they've already produced quite a good amount of wool. So that's really, pleasing and reassuring to see. I think... Oh no, look, we have actually done the whole strip. I was worried that maybe we would have had a light blue gap just here, but it looks as though our AI worker has covered all of that so far, so that's looking pretty good. So we'll jump ahead, we'll let this worker finish this job off for us, and then we'll check back in once it's done. I just thought I'd jump over to the forest and have a look, and I swear these trees have got even bigger since the last time I inspected them. I think these are now fully grown, and look how tall these things are now. And they look a lot thicker as well. Our forest is really starting to look like a proper little forest. So I think we may have to start doing some logging in the next episode as well. Raise some money that way, and you know, finally put these trees through their paces. You can actually see here, look, here's the difference. This is where they were the last time I checked, and you can see this is where they are now. That row here is just that little bit shorter than the row behind it, because that was planted a little bit later. So yeah, by the time we get through to the start of the next episode, then these trees should be fully grown as well, because they should have caught up. So our forest is now almost 100% ready, but definitely this side is completely ready. We can start attacking this straight away if we wanted to. We only have a few minutes left of this particular episode, so we'll save this for either next episode or next week, one of the two. But yeah, we are going to be getting into logging in a big way. The only question remains now is whether we do it with a chainsaw and then strip the logs down individually, or whether we get ourselves a scorpion. And you know what, I kind of quite like the idea of having a scorpion. I mean, this is Big Bud Farm. This is the map of go big or go home. So what better way than to get the biggest piece of logging equipment out there that we can get, which is the Scorpion King. How much is it? 317,000. Yeah, let's buy a Scorpion. So let's get one of those. We'll go with tracks, just because I think it looks better with tracks than without. Although, having said that, we're on level ground. We don't really need to waste that 8 grand. We'll buy it with just the wheels. So there we go. And the great thing is as well, is that our forest is right around the corner. There it is, look. So we don't even have a long journey to take this from the store to our forestry area. We're down to 837,000 again. This is a long-term investment, this piece of equipment, rather than, you know, just a short-term purchase. This is something we're going to be using a lot. I mean, we've got obviously all of these trees in here. Once we've worked one side, we'll replant, and then when those are replanted, then we'll start work on the other side to give the first side a chance to catch up again. And I would like to, at some point, make a second logging area as well. So let's decide whereabouts we're going to put this. It won't fit unless we can be a little bit clever with our boom. I don't know if we can actually get this thing in. It's not going to go that way. Yeah, see, we're kind of being a little bit naughty by doing it this way, but it is unfortunately the only way we can get it done. Let's try and turn that boom just a touch. Let's try dropping it down. We may have to really kind of stretch it out a little bit. Maybe if we try doing it this way. Oh, look at that. Bunker silo is done fermenting. So now our silage is ready as well. It's all go on Big Bud Farm right now. Well, let's see if we can actually get this stored in the shed. Is that boom going to be too high? I think it might well be. how we can get it in. Have we got enough room at the back? Yes, we have. Just beautiful. There we go. So, we can actually get rid of this logging trailer now because we don't need one with that claw. We have one obviously here designed to pick up a few different logs. We could probably get a longer trailer. I think there are longer versions of the logging trailer available to us. Let's go back into forestry equipment. See, I think the timber runner is longer. I know I can definitely get 2 separate stacks of 8,000 of 6-meter logs in that, and 6-meter logs are probably, you know, pretty good in terms of value. So we can get an awful lot of logs on one of those, whereas this one I think is a little bit shorter. So we'll look at that in the next episode, but almost done with this. So again, we're going to jump ahead. We'll wait till this is finished, and then we'll look at maybe switching out our trailer, but we might stick with the one we've got. I'll think about it while this job is being finished off. We're on the final pass of the field, and we are also out of time for this episode. So when we come back on Saturday, we will attack those trees with our brand new Scorpion, and we'll start doing some logging. Until then, I'm off to go and watch some small children being chased through a kitchen by velociraptors. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I will catch you back on the farm very soon.